Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to today. So let's analyze the market structure. So like we always do, let's look at the monthly chart, the daily chart, the H4, and the 1 hour and 30 minutes. So let's go to the monthly chart just for us to have an idea what we are anticipating the market to give to us. Let's remove this line so that we'll be able to have an idea what the market is saying. This is the low of this candle, and this is the high of this candle, and this is the all-time high on gold. So we are in an uptrend. It's left with 8 days before this candle will close. But looking at the formation of this candle wants to reject of this zone for it to break it low. Maybe the candle will continue to come down to break the low of this rejection bullish candle. So but this candle is left with 8 days. So let's see what the candle wants to do. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's move this because we'll use it later. Looking at information of the daily chart, we are just consolidating because we have a minor resistance, a minor resistance, and a minor resistance. So from this resistance zone to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. That means we are anticipating a candle should break this resistance zone for the next candle to keep going up to this resistance zone over here. But from this resistance zone to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So that means the market structure is just consolidating. Nothing serious is happening. Let's go to the H4. The H4 market structure, let's see what the candle is doing just for us to have an idea. We have a support zone down here, we have a resistance zone down here, and a resistance zone. So as of Tuesday, Friday, and Monday, they're about like the market structure is just consolidating all this while. Market structure is just consolidating. We have a support zone over here. We have a resistance zone over here. Let's measure from this resistance zone to this resistance zone. We are looking at 1,100 pips thereabout. Looking at 1,100 pips thereabout. So let's measure from this support zone down to this support zone, which we are looking at also 1,100 pips. So definitely you guys know how much you want from the market. You know exactly what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position and how much you want to risk. So that means we are anticipating the break of this resistance zone and the break of this support zone. Then before we can decide to take a position with we having a confirmation trade, you need to identify what you are anticipating the market to give to you before you decide to take a position. We also have a resistance zone over here. Let's measure from this resistance zone to this resistance zone what you're anticipating the market to give to us. Almost like 1,400 pips. Let's go to the H1. As you guys know, I love identifying my resistance zone and my support zone using the H1 and the 30 minutes. So since we have a support and a resistance zone, let's adjust this a little bit. Then let's bring the support zone down here just for us to have a clear view of what we are anticipating the market to give to us. Let's adjust this to this place. Let's look at the left hand side. We have a support over here. I'm looking at it. We have a support over here. Let's bring this closer since we use it. So looking at the candle formation, so we have a resistance zone over here and a support zone and a resistance zone. We also have a resistance zone over here. We also have a resistance zone over here. Definitely, like the more we keep changing, like the different time frame, we'll definitely try and identify the recent resistance and the recent support. So let's go to the 30 minutes time frame. Let's see. Then let's look at the left hand side. So looking at the left hand side, we have a minor support, a minor support, a minor support, and a support zone. We also have a support zone over here. Let me delete this. Let's see. So we have a support zone over here. We have a support zone over here. Let's go back to our chart. Let's adjust this since it's 30 minutes time frame. We also have a resistance zone over here. It's very important for us to identify what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So we have a support zone over here. So let me delete this. Let me use this line. Let me delete this. Let me use this line. So let's zoom the chart a little bit. So looking at the candle formation, we have a resistance zone over here and a resistance zone over here. So let's measure this resistance zone to this resistance zone. We are looking at almost 230 pips, 228 pips thereabouts. So it's very important for us to know how much we are anticipating the market to give to us. It's very important for us to have an idea what you are anticipating the market to give to us. I'm just looking at my auto screen. So looking at the candle formation, let's identify our recent support and our recent resistance. So we have a support zone over here. So let's look at the left hand side. The support zone should be here, since it's part of the recent support. Let me adjust this. So this is our recent support. Let me bring it down a little bit. Then we have a minor support and a support zone over here. From this support zone to this minor support, we are looking at 200 pips. Okay. So let's see this minor support. But I need to change the color since it's a minor support. We have a resistance zone over here. Then we also have a resistance zone over here. It should be the same color with the other ones. Let me see. Let me just use this rectangle. Let me just copy and paste this. Let me delete this. So our buy position is here and our sell position is here and our consolidation zone is the other side. Let me see. So these are consolidation zone over here. So let's zoom the chart a little bit. We have a consolidation zone over here because from this resistance zone to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. And we also have a buy over here and a sell over here. So let's measure from this resistance zone to this resistance zone, and from this support zone to this support zone, this minor support and this support zone, just for us to have an idea how much we're anticipating the market to give to us. So from this minor support, we are looking at almost like 197 pips. Then from this minor support down to this support zone, we are looking at 286 pips. So from this support zone down to this support zone, almost like 480 pips. So it's very important for you to know how much you're anticipating the market to give to you. It's very important for you to know how much you are risking. So for our sell position, we have 480 pips from this support zone down to this support zone, 480 pips, and from this resistance zone, from this resistance zone to this resistance zone, we are looking at 274 pips. That is 274 pips. So you know how much you are anticipating the market to give to you. If there is volume in the market, the volume will be able to break this resistance zone for the trade to keep going up to this resistance zone. So let's measure from this resistance zone down to this resistance zone. We are looking at 500 pips. So it's very important for you to know how much you're anticipating the market to give to you before you decide to take a position. So this 30 minutes candle is left with 6 minutes before this 30 minutes candle will close. And the previous 30 minutes candle, it closed with a rejection bearish candle. So the best thing for us to do is just for us to be patient. Let's wait until this candle will close. Then we'll be able to anticipate the next candle to break our resistance zone or our support zone with the other confirmation that we'll have then before we can decide to take a position. So for now, let's just wait until this candle will close. Just in case you guys have a question, or if you don't understand anything, you can send your message to the chat box and I will get back to you. So let's just wait until this candle will close before we can decide to take a position. Yes, I understand that we have news today. There is news today. There is news today. Unemployment claim and there is news. So but before this time, we are done with our trading. So since we are trading London section, in the next 6 minutes time is London open. So we are anticipating for the candle to break our zone before we can decide to take a position. The moment we are able to identify a structure, because it's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you. It's very important for you to have a trading plan. You know what you want from the market. You don't need to chase the market. Then the moment you identify that thing that you're looking for before you can decide to take a position. So let's just wait until this candle will close. Since this candle is left with 6 minutes before this candle will close, before we can anticipate to take a position. So let's enjoy the music while we are waiting for the candle to close. The candle is left with 4 minutes before the candle will close. Candle is left with 3 minutes before this candle will close. Let's see what the candle wants to do. But this previous candle, it broke the high of this bearish candle and this bearish candle. So like some people will tell you that this candle went up to gather liquidity for the next one to continue to come down to break the low of this bearish candle over here. But sometimes it's very important for you just to have an idea what the market is saying. You know what you want from the market, you know how you want it, and then you just need to be patient until you are able to identify a setup before you can decide to take a position. So right now we are just patiently waiting since this candle is left with 2 minutes before this 30 minutes candle will close. So let's just be patient until this candle will close, and then the moment this candle, if this candle should close with a bullish candle and the next candle should break the high of the bullish candle and then break this our resistance zone or our support zone, then I'm going to tell you guys what we need to do, because it's very important for we to have a plan. We have a plan. I have a plan. So I know what I want from the market, and I understand that you guys also know what you want from the market. But we are all here to learn, to share our idea, and just for me to tell you guys that this is what you need to do, and if it is the right time for you to open a position or if it's the right time for you to chill. So for now, let's just be patient until this candle will close. Then before we can anticipate if we need to take a position or if we need to be patient while we wait for a confirmation trade before we open a position. So let's just be patient, and then let's anticipate the candle for it to close. The candle is left with 5 seconds, so let's wait until the candle will close. Then before we can decide to take a position. So this 30 minutes candle just closed with a bullish candle. It didn't break the low of this rejection bearish candle. It didn't break the high of this rejection bearish candle. So let's wait until we are able to identify a position before we can decide to open a trade. So this candle opened with no wick at the bottom. Let's see, since it's the beginning of this 30 minutes candle. So let's see what the candle wants to do. If you guys have a question, you can send your message to the chat box and I'll get back to you guys. So meanwhile, let's just be patient until we are able to identify a structure, until we are able to identify what you are anticipating the market to give to us before we can decide to take a position. Sometimes somebody can just send you a message just by thanking you for the things that you are doing for them. So that means this, like the candle has created a lower wick. Let's just be patient until we are able to identify a structure then before we can decide to anticipate if we need to take a position, if the candle should continue to go up to break our resistance zone, or if the candle continue to come down to break our support zone. So let's just be patient. Since the previous candle closed with a bearish candle, with a bullish candle, this candle over here closed with a bullish candle. So let's see what this candle wants to do. But I believe we all know how much we are risking in a trade. You know how much you want to risk in a trade. It's very important to know how much you want to risk in a trade, just in case we are able to identify a setup before we can decide to take a position. So the candle has created a lower wick. Let's see if this candle we have to break the high of this bullish candle. But it's very important for us to wait until we are able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. Like I said, from this resistance zone down to this resistance zone, we are looking at 276 pips. So you know how much you want. You know how many pips you want as your target. Then the moment you identify how many pips you want and you know how much you are risking, so the moment we are able to identify a structure, the moment we are able to identify a setup, then I'm going to explain to you guys and tell you guys where to put your stop loss. It's very important for you to know how to calculate all that so that you know how much you are risking in a trade. So this is London Open. So since there is volume in the market, that means we are anticipating the break of our resistance zone and the break of our support zone. But meanwhile, for now, we just need to be patient. Let's see if this candle will have to break the high of this bullish candle over here. Then before we'll be able to know if this candle wants to continue to go up to break our resistance zone. The candle has broken the high of this bullish candle over here since there is volume in the market. So that means there's a high probability that this candle will continue to go up. And this is 30 minutes candle. So let's look at the 15 minutes candle to just for us to have an idea. 15 minutes candle is left with 7 minutes before the 15 minutes candle will close. So it's very important for us to know what the other time frame is saying. Let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is left with 52 minutes. So let's see. And the 1 hour also came back down to close with a weak bearish bullish candle. So let's see what this candle wants to do. Let's see. Let's see what the candle wanna do. But since there is volume in the markets, this candle can continue to go up to break. These are resistance zone over here. But let's wait and see until you're able to identify a structure. Then before we can anticipate to take a position. It's very important for us to know what we want and how we want it. And then we don't need to hesitate. We just need to open our position. The 15 minutes is left with 2 minutes. I like looking at just the different time frame just for me to have an idea what I'm anticipating in the market. Okay. The 1 hour is about to break the high of this candle, the previous candle over here. So about if this candle should continue to go up right now, like I'm gonna tell you guys for us to wait. Since the 30 minutes candle is left with 17 minutes, and just for us to have an idea what the candle is doing. Right now it's London section, so there is volume in the market. So just prepare your MT5 ready, or if you are using C-Trader or any platform that you're using, just prepare it. But let's wait until this 15 minutes candle will close first. Let's see. The 30 minutes candle is still left with 16 minutes, so it's good to just have an idea what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. But looking at the candle condition at the moment, we are approaching our resistance zone. So I'm going to tell you guys when it is the right time for us to take a position. So for now, let's just be patient. We don't need to do anything. Let's see. 60 pips. I'm just looking at my auto screen. So let's just be patient since this recent bullish candle is left with 13 minutes before this candle will close. So let's just be patient since we are anticipating the candle for it to continue to go up to break our resistance zone with our confirmation that it is the right time for us to take a position, which I'm going to tell you guys. And we're also anticipating the break of this our support zone as well. So let's see how this candle will close. This candle, it broke the high of this bullish candle over here, but it didn't break the high of this rejection bearish candle. So let's see. Always know that from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So sometimes the market it's not sometimes the markets respect our consolidation zone. There's a reason why that zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So it's very important for us to know what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So this previous candle, it came and broke the high of this bearish candle and this bearish candle, and it closed with a rejection bearish candle. The next candle closed with a bullish candle, and this recent 30 minutes candle, it broke the high of this bullish candle over here. So looking at the formation of this candle is likely to come down to break its low for it to continue to come down, but it's best for us to be patient. We just need to be patient. Then let's watch. Let's use our eyes to see what the candle is doing. The moment we are able to identify a setup, then I'm going to tell you guys if it is the right time for us to take a position or if it is the right time for us to be patient. We don't need to do anything. So if this candle should continue to come down to break the low of this bullish candle and this bearish candle, we're not going to do anything. We just need to be patient because we have a trading plan. We know what you're anticipating the market to give to us before we can decide to take a position. That's why we'll not do anything until we're able to identify that setup before we can decide to take a position. Since it's London open, let's see how the candle will close. So the 30 minutes candle is left with 10 minutes before the candle will close. Let's see what the candle want to do. Let's see what the candle want to do. Candle broke the high of this bullish candle. So let's see. If this candle should continue to come down to break the low of this bullish candle and break the low of this bullish candle and continue to come down to our support zone, we are not going to do anything. We are not chasing the market. We are not chasing the market. We know what we want from the market. We know how we want it. So let's just be patient since we have a plan, since we know what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So we just need to be patient and then wait while we enjoy the music. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the candle is left with 8 minutes for the candle will close. Let's just be patient. Let's just be patient. Mm. Let me measure this week from this place to here. Looking at 160 pips. Okay. It's almost the same week with this too. But this one, it broke the low of this week and closed like this. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes you can see a very strong move that this candle will continue to come down to break our support zone, continue to come down on everything. But the question you need to ask yourself that if this candle should break our support zone, where will you put your stop loss? Because let's measure from the break of our support zone down to the high of this, you are looking at almost like 253 pips. So where will you put your stop loss? And the 30 minutes candle is left with 6 minutes. So if this candle should continue to come down, which this candle is about to break the low of this bullish candle, and then if the candle should continue to come down to break the low of this bullish candle and this bearish candle, I'm not going to do anything because this is not what I'm anticipating the market to give to me. So before I can decide to open a position, I need to see a confirmation trade. I need to see a confirmation setup. Then before I can decide to take a position. I'm not chasing the market. I don't need to chase the market. If this market should continue to come down, break our supports and continue to come down, I'm not going to do anything because you need to ask yourself that where will you put your stop loss? Except you just want to enter a quick trade. This candle has broken the low of this bullish candle, and the candle is also about to break the low of this bearish candle. Since there is volume in the market, this is London section. So since there is volume in the market, it's best for us to wait. The same candle, this 30 minutes candle also went and it broke the high of this bullish candle over here. So it's good for you to be able to know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So right now, we just need to be patient. We're not going to do anything since the candle is still in this consolidation zone over here. So we don't need to do anything. We just need to be patient. So the candle is left with 4 minutes before the 30 minutes candle will close. It's best for us to be patient. Like I said, if the candle should continue to come down to break, it has broken the low of this bullish candle, but it's yet to break the low of this bearish candle. If the candle should continue to come down to break this bearish candle over here and still continue to come down to break our support zone, we are not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I just need to sit back, watch what the candle is doing, and then the moment I should be able to identify a structure, I'm going to take a position. But right now, I'm not going to do anything because I'm not chasing the market. I don't need to chase the market. I know what I want from the market. I know how I want it before I can decide to take a position. So right now, we just need to be patient. Yeah. Yes, you just woke up. Yeah, that's your car. Yeah, I go. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I see, I see, I see. I see. Yeah, I'm just talking to my son. Yeah, go, okay? Okay, go and meet mommy, okay? So this candle is left with 3 minutes before this candle will close. So let's just be patient. Then the moment you're able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. Meanwhile, let's enjoy the music. Let's enjoy the music. If you guys have a question, you can send your message and I'm gonna get back to you guys. So for now, let's just be patient until you're able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. This candle is left with 2 minutes before the 30 minutes candle will close. So let's see what the next 30 minutes candle wants to do. Since this candle went up to break the high of this bullish candle over here, but didn't break the high of this rejection bearish candle, but it broke the low and the high of this bullish candle over here. So let's see what this candle wants to do. This candle is here to break the low of this bearish candle over here. So let's see. Since the candle is left with 2 minutes before this candle will close, it's very important for you to know what you want from the market. It's very important for you to know how you want it. Mm-hmm. So the candle is left with a minute before the candle will close. Always pay attention to the consolidation zone. There is always a reason why a zone is being identified as a consolidation zone, and the market also respects a consolidation zone. And there is a reason why markets do respect a consolidation zone. The zone is not just like a consolidation zone. Like the market understand that this range, there is something that is happening. That means before a zone will be broken, it means there are two things before a zone will be broken. Let's say, for example, right now we have a resistance zone over here and we have a support zone over here. So this candle broke the high of this bearish candle and this bearish candle, and then it's closed with a rejection bearish candle that the next candle didn't break the high of this bearish candle. It closed with a bullish candle, but this recent 30 minutes candle broke the high of this bullish candle and also broke the low of this bullish candle. So looking at how the market structure is, the next candle can as well give you a bullish candle like this, then with a long wick or with a small wick. Okay, I'm coming. I'm trying to see something. I'm coming. So the next candle can give you something like this. Let me move this here. So the next candle can give you something like this. That the next candle can also give you a bullish candle, by which I'm coming. Hold on. Trying to see. Okay. So I was trying to explain to you guys that the next candle can give you a bullish candle like this, a bullish candle like this, then with a wick like this, still respecting this consolidation zone. So the only reason why a consolidation zone will be broken is two things. It's either there is volume in the market or you have news, by which the candle will have to break it with a very strong bearish candle, or the candle will have to break the zone with a very strong bullish candle like this. So it's either there is news in the market or there is volume in the market. So this is London section. We are trading in London section, which London section we have volume in the market. So we are still anticipating the break of our support zone and the break of our resistance zone with our order confirmation that will tell us that it is the right time for us to take a position. So for now, let's just be patient until we are able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. So let me just delete this so that it will not confuse maybe the new people that are joining. Okay, I can leave this one like this. So let me just move this here. Move this here. So let's see what the markets want to do. So this candle, it closed with a bearish candle that it broke the high of this bullish candle and the low of this bullish candle. So this recent 30 minutes candle is here to break the low or is here to break the high. So let's just be patient until we are able to identify what we are anticipating the market to give to us before we can decide to take a position. Let me just move this over here. So let's just be patient. So right now the candle is not really doing anything. So we are still part of the consolidation zone. Let's see if the candle have to break the high or the low of this bearish candle over here. So let's see what the candle want to do. Let's see what the candle want to do. Since that is following the market at this point. So right now, the thing we need to do is just for us to be patient. We are anticipating the break of our resistance zone and the break of our support zone with a confirmation that it is the right time for us to take a position. We are not chasing the market. If we see a very strong candle should just continue shooting up, you're not going to take a position, because you need to ask yourself, if you should take the position, where are you going to put the stop loss? So it's very important for you to identify a structure. It's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. Let's see if this candle will have to break the low of this bearish candle for the candle to keep coming down to break our support zone. It's very important for us to know what we want and how we want it before we can decide to take a position. And if the candle should continue to come down, you need to ask yourself that this is almost like 170 pips. So where are you going to put your stop loss? It's very important for you to have an idea of what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. And this 6 and 30 minutes candle is left with 21 minutes. So let's just be patient and see. Let's see what the candle want to do. It went up to create this wick right here. So let's see if the candle will continue to come down to break its low, for it to break the low of this bearish candle over here. So let's just be patient.